Hello there, friends and assorted enemies. My name is Adam Cleary. This is Adam Nicholas, and welcome to your first hashtag Good Afternoons of 2020. Good break, was it? Nice Christmas?
It was lovely, very nice, thank you. How was yours?
No, not bad, not bad. I feel old and tired.
You're
Coming
all
up for you today, lots of delicious slices of wrestling news, including a new potential signing in NXT.
The real reason why Brock Lesnar is entering the Royal Rumble.
I have some tedious ratings patter for you.
He does indeed. And WWE have not going to do a... I've lost it. I've lost it. But it's the first one of the year, so they're not going to do a gimmick that people have rumoured that they are going to do. That's a nice long title for you. And
coming up first, yeah, speaking of things that aren't a thing, which apparently were a thing and have probably been reported that were a thing, but definitely aren't a thing. You watched Raw.
We're so good at this, aren't we?
You watched Raw, didn't you? You watched Raw, the AJ Styles Akira Tozawa match, and he leaves, and then the dude hits the ring, and security pile on him, and everyone was like, they didn't realise it's a botch. And like similar to the Gronkowski thing at WrestleMania, obviously not everybody around the ring had been informed of what was happening next, and they did their job. They saw somebody jumping over the barricades and attempted to intervene. Well, we thought it was really funny because the camera sort of awkwardly goes and then cuts away, and then he gets back in the ring after the commercial break. He looks really miffed. Apparently, not a botch. Not a botch. Apparently, that is exactly what was supposed to happen. Now, this is according to reports from Loose Lips Backstage.
I genuinely thought this is the report from Reports.
According to Loose Lips Backstage, you have done quite a lot of big reveals over the last 3 months. They say that in a number of scripts circulated to WWE production staff, there was this nugget which says, in arena, an unidentified man, brackets the wedding official, is attempting to get in the ring when he is confronted by security. Now, that's literally what happened, of course. Like, actor Rick Malone has been playing this part. He is attempting to get in the ring and gets done by a security guard. So, but my question is, if that's
I've got a few questions.
I've got a few questions.
Just a couple.
If that's what's supposed to happen,
yes.
Why is that what's supposed to? Why don't you put him in the ring?
If this isn't a botch, which apparently it's not, what did this achieve?
Exactly.
What did it achieve?
It wasn't even part of the segment, was it?
What did it? Is it just due out of the literal ridiculousness, the clumsiness of it all, the fact that none of them looked like they knew what they were doing during the wedding ceremony? So maybe we'll just add to that. I don't know.
I don't understand.
I just don't know.
The thing that gets me, and I actually kind of might believe this, because if you look at the clip,
that would fit their MO, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's a bit where they cut back, and like there's been some fan footage done, like from the floor, and the bit where somebody comes over to be like, oh, actually, no, you can let him go in, whether they're corrected on the mistake. The body language and the mannerisms of the two security guards is very much of, we have to do a bit of acting now. They're like, oh, God, guys, we didn't realise.
Like looking to the fans, like, hey.
It looks deliberate, but then why does the camera it's because the camera lingers on it for long enough for it to be real, but then awkwardly cuts away like it's not.
Are we is this WWE trying to move into some sort of like weird reality, like...
Tune into Raw, you don't know what you're going to see.
You don't know if someone's going to get tackled by security, who knows?
But yes, let us know in the comments whether this is a botch or whether it's not.
Oh, that's good. I'm just trying to unlock my phone here. I've got so distracted by everything that's going on. God, we are so good at this. But
we're going to release a little thing tomorrow saying that was deliberate.
Yep. I see. Flawless.
Second story, Adam Nicholas is trying to get into his phone.
Couldn't get out of his phone. Lol, security guards tackle him. They have missed their cue, never mind. But we do have another story, and it's about Brock Lesnar. No botches going on here, just Broxes. Broxes?
No botches yet.
That's what it'll do. Basically, if you were watching Monday Night Raw, you'll have seen that Brock Lesnar, in a bizarre twist of fate, announced that he will be entering the Royal Rumble. Not just entering the Royal Rumble, Adam Cleary, entering at number 1 in the Royal Rumble. Now, we had been expecting him to announce his potential opponent. We know they like to do that kind of match where someone gets a shot at Brock, they get some hits in, and then they get F5 into oblivion, and he walks out all red, and everyone's happy. But apparently, he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. That's his choice. But the real reason this is happening, apparently, Adam Cleary, is because the one man who probably is a star in WWE apparently needs to start building momentum towards WrestleMania 36, you see, which is a very basic take on that, I realise this. This comes from our good friends over at WrestleVotes, of course. And essentially, what is being said here, because it comes from them, and they basically say that's not words at all. The idea is he needs to build some momentum going to WrestleMania 36, and the Rumble is going to basically be the place where he meets his opponent, whether that is someone who eliminates him, whether it is something else entirely. They have said The source says WWE is doing this Lesnar in the Rumble angle as a way to set up Brock's Mania matchup, which could signal it's against someone from SmackDown or NXT, as Paul Heyman mentioned a few times last night. This opens up a world of possibilities, is what they said. Adam Cleary with a loaded shotgun.
They did this with the Wyatt family one year and then just never did the match.
I remember. No, look,
That's the first thing that comes to me.
Come on, let's do it justice here. They did this with the Wyatt family, had them get rid of Brock. And then can you remember what happened to the Wyatt family after that?
Nothing.
No, Brock came back in the ring and chucked them all out of the Rumble.
That was it, yeah.
Because that's how strong they are.
It was just,
even Braun. That was good, wasn't it?
It was really bad. This is just... Look, I like the Broxhibition match as much as... I actually love the Broxhibition match. Like, the Bryan one was great. The Styles one was great. The Balor one was really good.
We were getting excited because it might have been Drew. It might have been Aleister Black who was going to get that slot against Brock.
It's just... Look, obviously this is good. I think part of the reason they've done
I'm excited about this, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because it invites a lot of fantasy booking, and I think they know how much people like to especially when it comes to Brock, who was never involved in an actual storyline. It's fun to sort of like work out how they can put together a new match. Like, obviously, sometimes it's Survivor Series, and the logic is, well, it's Survivor Series. And sometimes it's WrestleMania, and the logic is, well, it's WrestleMania. Yeah. But sometimes you have to think outside the box with this stuff. And to have him eliminated by his potential WrestleMania opponent is interesting. However, it's very confusing. You will know this. We have had about 100 tweets going, why is Brock defending the championship in the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
He's not.
Not doing that,
He's
obviously.
not doing
what Roman Reigns did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Not the same thing. There is no belt on the line. He is still the WWE champion. I guess he wants to go and face the Universal champion is the plan in the storyline, if you will. Are you still going to be upset, not upset, but thinking these things, if Matt Riddle flying knees Brock Lesnar out of the Royal Rumble?
Absolutely not.
Will you be feeling this way if Keith Lee body checks him out of the Rumble? You absolutely
not. However, when Roman clotheslines
there it is. I was going to say, those are lovely thoughts, but when the Fiend just chucks him out for the crack, that should be interesting.
Look, it's going to be a bit of a messy one, this. It's going to be a really messy one.
It is, but it's the Royal Rumble. Anything can happen.
On WWE, except increasing their viewing figures, apparently, because while a lot of people did tune into Monday Night Raw to hear what Brock's announcement was going to be, it wasn't as many people tuned into Monday Night Raw before the turn of the year. Figures are fractionally down. However, this is a double-edged sword because there is some bad news on the figures, minor bad news, but also a slight slither of good news. I was pouring through the tedious ratings part. I did find one reason to be hopeful. Anyway, here are the numbers for you. They drew on Raw an average of 2.385 million.
Good.
Do you think how bad Raw is?
Yeah.
And how good NXT and AEW are? Look, I'm convinced Hamlet's right that they're going to Wednesdays will outdraw Mondays by the end
eventually,
of the
year. I think, I don't see why not, because products are better.
Yeah, it was down about 60,000 people. About 60,000 people from the last episode of 2019, which of course you'll remember went off the air with the Bobby Lashley, Lana, Rusev segment.
Which, I mean, they did, in fairness, if you're comparing the two, they did good numbers, I think, because of the fact we all knew it was going to be car crash TV, didn't we? We knew it was going to be something, and that gets people tuning in.
One thing, I'm just going to fold this off, right, because this is quite interesting, I think, right? Now, obviously, Yep. Okay. Now, obviously, they were down on the overall viewing numbers, right?
Yes.
However, what do we know about the tedious ratings pattern? What does it normally reveal about WWE, about their core audience?
They don't care.
No, but they're over 55, aren't
yes.
they? Like, that's the big demographics. The big demographics is over 55. Yeah. For the first time in absolutely... Yeah, Hamlet's lot. For the first time in absolutely ages, Raw came top of the cable top 150.
That's interesting.
Which it hasn't done in 8. That's the 18 to 49 demographic.
Right.
They were 7th overall on the night, but most of the other stuff getting watched was like big news reports, a couple of sitcoms and whatnot. Raw topped the 18 to 49.
Which is the graphic, or the demographic rather, that everyone's so keen to talk about when it comes to the Wednesday Night Watch, for anybody who's not familiar.
Now, the reason for this is probably because there was no NFL, there was no MLB, and there was no college football, which is normally what stops them doing that. But given it's not a demographic you traditionally associate with WWE's core audience, that is good news.
Well, it sounds good.
Good news.
If I was them, I'd be putting that in the next report.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If we were working for WWE,
with big arrow pointing at it, saying, "Look at this."
Yeah, that's the news story as far as they're concerned. I don't know what this means, but their demographic rating was 0.74. That's apparently good.
That sounds like a number. We're good with numbers, aren't we?
No.
No, we really aren't. But things that are good, things that are bad, you might call them gimmicks that are good and gimmicks that are bad. Well, apparently, a gimmick that everybody has... I know, it's been really nice to do this again, isn't it? Apparently, there's a little gimmick speculation that's been going on, because as you may have seen, if you've been watching WWE's product recently, Andrade was recently crowned the US champion at Madison Square Garden in a little feud that's been going on with Rey, in fairness, for quite some time, on and off, you could probably say.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it rekindled a little bit. He had a match, Rey had a rematch, on Monday Night Raw for the title. It didn't end up working out the way Rey wanted, because Andrade, the cheeky scamp, stole his mask. Took his mask off, which is brand new. I've never seen that before. And Rey Mysterio was very upset about it, attacked Andrade. It's all gone a bit mad. However, this has led to speculation on the internet that we might be seeing a mask versus title match. Essentially, the loser gets the two things that the other one doesn't get, which would be interesting if Mysterio lost, because he's never gone without a mask before, and I assume that would be a permanent thing. But don't get your hopes up and don't even get interested in that, because apparently that is not happening. According to the Wrestling Observer, Brian Alvarez specifically said that he doesn't think there are plans anytime soon for that match to be happening with that specific gimmick. Obviously, there's probably going to be a big-ish match between those two, and we have heard rumours that potentially there's a little fatal four-way being discussed for WrestleMania between Andrade, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, and potentially Humberto Carrillo as well.
I wanted you to say Dominic in the middle.
And Dominic...
That's a fatal five-way.
The fatal four-way is for Dominic. I should have clarified that. There's a ladder involved. It's all very brand new and stuff. But this is interesting. Would you want to see that match, the mask versus title match?
Do you know what
Would you be interested in 2019?
Given that we thought we were going to get
2020.
2020. Yeah, catch up. Do you used to do that in school when you
Yes,
came back from
yes,
school break?
on the day in the corner, all the time.
Given that we live in an age where the most recent new refreshing gimmick match we were talking about was the dog food match or the dog collar match or something like that, to actually see a long established trope in wrestling of masks being on the line, of they do hair matches, stuff like that. It adds stakes to this, because we've seen Mysterio and Andrade have absolute belters all over the shop, but not anything that's carried
some significance,
stakes.
massively.
And to put the title, Andrade's the first thing that really legitimizes him as a single star on the main roster, versus the thing that has legitimized Rey Mysterio as a global wrestling icon for all this time, feels like that's a WrestleMania match for me.
It would be, and that stipulation would work, and I would actually be kind of into it, because it taps into that long heritage you've got with the luchadors and the sacredness of the mask. I know WWE have kind of done it to death a little bit, so it's not the same, but having said that, imagine if this led to Rey Mysterio having to go around without a mask, like wrestle for the first time like that in WWE at least, and the heat that Andrade would get from taking the mask off him.
And imagine, Andrade used to wear a mask, so...
That's true. He used to wear a mask.
Insult to injury.
In fact, that's a very good point. He used to be La Sombra. That's a very good point. Look at you with all your knowledge.
Here's a WrestleMania moment for you, right? Mask versus title. Andrade versus Rey Mysterio. Andrade wins, right? But Dominic costs Rey Mysterio. Not because the turn, just like he goes to save him, and that costs him the match, right?
Like Gargano costing Aleister Black the title.
Mysterio takes the mask off, just leaves it in the middle of the ring and trudges wearily back up the 800-foot long ramp.
He's got his cinema head on. I like this. Come on then.
Dominic gets into the ring, looks down at the mask, picks it up. It's the end of Batman Begins.
I was literally just about to say
it's the end of the Dark Knight Rises. It's the end of the Dark Knight Rises.
I was sitting waiting with Batman. I was about to drop it, but you beat me to it.
Speaking of rises, this'll get a rise out of you if you're big into the Wednesday night wars patter.
I have really missed this,
Mercedes Martinez.
Oh yeah,
Yep. She has been in AEW. She was the Joker in their women's Casino Royale match.
And I popped my little arse off because I was very excited, because they've obviously signed a good star, haven't they, Adam Cleary?
They've obviously signed a good star, a big star, a global indie star, someone who's been done stuff in WWE, was obviously renowned all over the world in women's wrestling. Been in the Mae Young Classic, let's not forget, a real one to get from under the nose of WWE. Signed for WWE.
Hey!
She has signed for WWE. She's heading to the Performance Center in the next couple of weeks. Despite being probably one of the biggest names AEW have had in that, I'm not going to say floundering, but certainly as yet undeveloped women's division.
It's okay that they're in a position where they can just decline one of the best women wrestlers in the world, because it's all going super good.
It's just, it's a shame.
That is a shame.
I know
Jokes apart,
people have said being 39, that counts against it, because AEW is trying to do a lot of like thingy stars, but it doesn't matter. She's really, really good.
They're missing some legitimate stars, is what the problem is in the women's division.
Yeah,
and she is one. Like, she can asking any female wrestler who's been on the Indies, who's been in WWE, AEW, wherever, and if you mention her name, there will be nothing but praise. She's at the top of the list.
She's got a lot. I looked up her Mae Young record before we came in here, because she did 2017 and 2018. Do you know who put her out in 2017? In the semis.
In the semis. Toni Storm.
Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler.
And she beat Mika Satomura.
Right. I was about to mention this at the end of this when you finished talking about it. If you haven't watched the match between Mercedes Martinez and Mika Satomura, just honestly just turn this off and go and do it right now.
That.
I'm not even kidding. It's the best. Also, I should point out, if anybody could ever get Mika Satomura away from Japan and just get her into WWE or AEW, I'll literally stop watching NXT if you put her in AEW. She's that good. I like her that much.
I will stop watching NXT and watch AEW instead if they get her in AEW, which is going to make ups and downs really difficult, but I'll manage it
just
somehow.
A blank screen for 10 minutes, of course. You've got to get the ad.
Oh no, I'll still do it. I'll just be stood there behind Hamlet going, have you finished the article?
Have you done the article yet?
Have you done the article?
We technically have an and finally, I guess, don't we, at this point?
We've technically got a news.
Technically got a news. We've put something together, haven't we? Eric Rowan. You know Eric Rowan. Do you remember him? He's doing all right. I was talking to him before Christmas. He's had a good time.
In the pub.
Had a few gigs at the supermarket and the
quite
mall.
often see him on Christmas Eve,
you know, whatever. He's getting dressed up. You may have noticed he's walking around with a little
claw. Sorry, that took us a second. Sorry.
You may have noticed he's walking around with a little cage these days. It's got a nice cover on it, and it's all a bit. Insert your own word here. However, there's been a lot of speculation regarding what is in the cage. Now, I don't know if you saw, but Pro Wrestling Sheet, hello to you, Pro Wrestling Sheet, our friends Ryan Satin and Co, all decided to post out a tweet basically saying, what's in the cage? Wrong answers only. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. It's very entertaining. But I guess the main thing I'm here to ask you, we'll kind of merge this in. It's not really a Twitter question, but it is a bit of speculation. Inside that cage, we saw someone got squirted red blood, ink, something. Is it the red mist? I don't know.
The best suggestion
what's inside and what do you think
the best suggestion I've seen is, you know, Baby Yoda?
Yes, I do.
Baby Asker.
I know him personally. Oh my god.
That's the best suggestion. Do you know what it reminds me of? Did you, when you were in primary school, did you have a budgie in the class?
I didn't, but I know people who did.
We did, yeah.
You're one of them.
We had a budgie, and you were allowed, like, you're on a rota for who could take the budgie home for the weekend.
Oh, nah. It's not for me,
I know.
pal.
We used to have a,
not for me.
Everyone's parents used to do that, don't
of course,
you just take thingy off the rota.
Yeah.
But when you used to take the budgie home, you used to have to put, like, the sheet over the cage so it didn't get scared by being in the car. So for me, I'm just like, well, it's the budgie from school.
The budgie from
the primary school that Eric Rowan goes to.
It's so angry, it just bites people's faces to
the budgie we had in school was a night. It was horrible.
It's a swine.
Horrible.
What was he called?
I can't remember what the life is now. I can't remember the life of it.
Who knows?
It was,
I'm not really sure, you know. I don't know what it is. I know a lot of lads in the office are convinced that Babu Frick is inside the cage, waiting to be revealed. I'm not going to do it because Andy Murray's been doing it all week, and he's done to death. But here's one for you. Let us know what you think is in the cage, eh?
Do you know what? The thing about the budgie, I'm going to go off a tangent. Remember the budgie in school?
Yes.
It put me off ever getting a bird in my adult life.
Oi, oi.
No, like a pet bird. Because, you know, some parrots can live till they're 40. Right, parrots can live till they're 40, right?
Hang on, where's this going?
Right, and it dawned on me that, like, if you get one, because that budgie was horrible, if you got a parrot that was, imagine, like, you'd be at work, like, does anyone want to go for a pint? I just don't want to go home because he's there.
He's there. He's in the house going, where you going? Why are you working hard?
Still not married. I just couldn't deal with it.
It just emphasises all your flaws.
I couldn't deal with it. You know, when every night I had to go home and the parrot would be there for 40 years.
Still alone, huh? Eating by yourself again.
Do the outro.
Okay. Well, let us know your thoughts on all of that news, if that's what you can call it, in the comments down below, specifically the thing about Eric Rowan's cage. I'm very intrigued to hear about that. You can follow us and like us and share with us on all those things on Twitter. You've got WhatCulture, at WhatCulture WWE for our company's Twitter. If you want the boy on Twitter, you can find him at
Adam Cleary, CLEOI.
You can find me at It's Adam Nicholas. You can find loads of articles and stuff at whatculture.com/WWE. There's some podcasts too. Go and find them, and everything else that I can possibly plug. You should go and enjoy it. I hope everyone's having a lovely 2020 so far. We are still obviously shaking off the cobwebs, as you can see. This has been your Good Afternoons, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.